Okay, so last time's lesson was you were given a polynomial function and we had to go through and solve for the zeros or the roots. So this is where y equals 0. So the long lesson is going through and solving this. What we're doing today in class is the other part of this, which is taking the zeros and putting it back together so that it equals a function. So the process for doing this you've actually done before. It's multiplying polynomials together. So we're on page 47. So they start by giving us 3 zeros for a function. So just to maybe make the connection for those of you that didn't do your lesson, if you graph a function, so here is the graph of x squared minus 36. The zeros are -6 and +6. So when I say we have 3 zeros here for a function, what that means is if we plugged the function into Desmos, this function would cross through at -3, 1, and 4 on the x-axis. So on our paper, what that means is 0 of -3 means we found that x equals 3 for one of our solutions or zeros. And then for 1, it was x equals 1. And for 4, it was x equals 4. In order to change this back to a function, though, we need to write it as a polynomial or a binomial. So how you do this is, if it is x equals -3, what that means is that it started out as x plus 3. And this one, where it was x is 1, that means that it started out as x plus 1. You don't have to, not plus, sorry, minus. You don't have to put the parentheses on like I did. You can leave those off if you want. And then this bottom one started out as x minus 4. So if we're comparing it to last time's lesson, what we got last time was these 3 equations, and we had to solve them. So this top one, to solve it, you subtract 3. That's where you get the x is -3. You add 1, that's where you get the x is 1. You add 4, that's where you get the x is 4. So now that we know the binomials, we can put our function together. We say f of x equals x plus 3 times x minus 1 times x minus 4. So we're literally going backward almost step for step from last time's lesson. So if I flip there really quick, that one's not done. Here are my zeros. If I look further up, those zeros came from these factors. And if I multiply out those factors, I get this function. That's what we're doing today. So the first thing that we should do is focus on these 2 binomials. So this is the part that you guys have done before. We just need to double distribute these 2 binomials. So we're going to ignore the x minus 4 for now. Do 2 arrows over the top and 2 arrows under the bottom. X times x gives you x squared. x times negative 1 gives you minus 1x. 3 times x gives you plus 3x. And 3 times negative 1 gives you negative 3. Now what do we do? Combine the like terms in the middle. That goes to x squared plus 2x minus 3. And at this point, I would change to box method because I personally think that that's the easiest way for me to keep track of my information. If you hate box method, you're going to take this x minus 4, bring it down, and then distribute these three terms. Since I'm using box method, I'm taking this x minus 4 here and putting it down here on the side of the box. So now we go through and multiply. What should go in that top left box? X to what power? 3. What goes in the top middle? Thanks, dear. Top right? Thank you. Bottom left? Thank you. Bottom middle? Just 8x, yeah. And then the last one is positive 12. I don't know why I wrote the plus sign on there. You don't got to write the plus sign. Now, I'm remembering from the last time that we did this that these diagonals combine. So my first term will be x cubed. My second term will be minus 2x squared. My third term is minus 11x. And my last term is plus 12. So this function started out as x cubed minus 2x squared minus 11x plus 12. What that means is now if I plug it into Desmos, we should see those, nope, x cubed so now you can see, hopefully, that this graph of this function does have the zeros negative 3, 1, and 4. So if I zoom out, you'll see it's like a crazy roller coaster. Okay, so a lot of these are similar. Your quiz ones are like 1 and 2, but I need you to change one of these factors. I need you to change this 0 to a negative 3. So do negative 2, negative 3, and 5. So this time, you guys write the binomial. I'll write mine and then hurry and walk through once, and then we can move on. So you guys now try to write the binomial that it started as. Oh, cool. Some of you guys are putting it together too. Good. So it started as x plus 2, x plus 3, x minus 5. So now we can write that as f of x equals x plus 2 times x plus 3 times x minus 5. Then we just follow the same exact process as last time. We're going to double distribute these. I feel like most of you guys are just trying that. Is that truth? Yes? You're double distributing? We'll just check in a second. About 10 seconds, I'll show you my trinomial. Okay, I got x squared plus 5x plus 6. So now down the side, I'm going to do x minus 5. So if you haven't started that yet, fill in your table. Once you have all the boxes filled in, then combine your like terms if you're to that point. As a hint, your x squared should have canceled. If your x squareds didn't cancel, you multiplied wrong somewhere. You guys ready to see it? Okay. X cubed minus 19x minus 30. How'd you do? Good. Yeah? Okay, the last one's actually the easiest one. So let's see if you can find these three factors. So take like 30 seconds to find what these binomials would be. About 10. Okay, so the top one is x plus 1. The bottom one is x minus 3. And the 0 is x. It's just x. So when you put that together, you get x times x plus 1 times x minus 3. And this one's actually easier than the other ones, because on this first set that you multiply, you don't have to double distribute. You just have to multiply that x to both terms inside of the binomial. So that will go to x squared plus x. Then from here, you can just do a 2 by 2 box method, or you can double distribute. It's really what your preference is. I'll do both on my paper. You guys choose one. Either do this double distributing over here, or you can do box method, just like we did on the other ones. Your answer should only have 3 terms. Your answer should have 3 terms. You ready, or you need like 10 seconds? Anybody need time? No? X cubed minus 2x squared minus 3x. How'd you guys do? You did okay? Okay, so on your quiz, I think one of them, so you have 3 questions that is on this part of the lesson. Zoom out document viewer. I think one of them is multiple choice, and then the other one is fill in the blank. So like it would have you fill in a -2, a -11, and a 12. Does this make sense? Now, some kids last class period got their question wrong because they had a 1x, a 1x squared. When you enter that into your computer, just put x squared. Don't put the 1 on it. I think Bracken made these quizzes and he didn't give you the option to leave the 1 on. So be careful on that one only, but the other ones, they didn't seem to have any troubles. The first 7 are these problems. And every single problem on the quiz matches a problem in your notes. So like the first 2 problems, and by match I mean the first 2 problems you do this. You factor out an x first, and then factor the trinomial. And then the next 2 problems, you do this, where you end up having 2 imaginary solutions. So if you're lost on a problem, either watch my quiz help video, it's really fast, only like 5 minutes, or come to your notes. Yes? And y'all are going to be working the whole time? If you get tired, you're just going to get up and go for a walk. Maybe go outside in the nice cool breeze. Okay.